Shayna love, as you and I have come to our relationship in a slightly non-standard way, I had the yen to share with you some of my background and my life story prior to my meeting you and you meeting me. One thing that will be clear is I was born in the West and I've sort of carried that with me all of my life. Here I am as a youngster, born on the farm in Windsor, Colorado in 1940. Here's my pop and my sister. This is probably 4 or 5 years old, something like that. In grade school, I had a hard time because I had a cross eye and it gave me a lot of grief. By junior high, most of those problems had pretty much worked themselves out where it was no longer bothering me. In high school, my biggest yen was to buy a car, and paid for cash on my birthday when I was 16 and immediately joined an automobile club with similarly minded people. This is a picture of me on one of my first dates in high school and mostly included so you can see what a tiny little dweeb I was about that time in my life. I met Mickey when I was 17 and when she was 17, and here we are, one of the first pictures I know of us. This next picture is one that I very much liked over the years. I think Mickey just looks fantastic with about a 20-inch waist, something like that, I suppose. Uh, we went to Colorado State University together from 1958 to 1962. Here's my picture as sophomore class president at Colorado State. This is Mickey and I at a fraternity thing called a barroom brawl. More partying time in the fraternity, more study time. Here we are getting engaged in California. This is Mickey's folks and sister. Here we are when we got married, our senior year in college, 1961. What a beautiful bride. What young looking people. Here's where we spent the first night of our honeymoon in Boulder. And nothing much more to say about that, I don't guess. Here's our very first car, and we called it Old Gray. Isn't that a beauty, huh? Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where we lived for about 9 months before I went in the Army. Of course, this is where our first child, Robin, was born. And this is me with my daughter. Anyway, the next picture shows how really, one of the first times I really came to grips with the fact that I was responsible for this little bitty being. This is a picture when I was in the Army. First lieutenant, retired, stationed in the Pentagon. And of course, when you're in the Army, you have to do the Army Christmas shot for everyone. This is ours. Following the Army, we moved back to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I entered graduate school at the University of Iowa in Iowa City. This is one of our good times. We were in a complex where we had several graduate student friends, and we had a very good time for sure. This is my final graduation with my two daughters. They didn't know what was going on except that I got on a bus every day. This is my official picture as when I first became a faculty member. Of course, even as a faculty member, we still had time to play. This is a particular costume party with Mickey and I going as Inspector Clouseau and the Pink Panther. I looked like a sausage in her outfit for sure. Here is a pretty good look of the way I was in those years. Before it all went gray and went away, it was bright red and curly. As one of my many journeys on that planet, I enjoyed being a clown. Here I was a clown as I was being appointed director of the U.S. Army European Research Office in London. Maybe not too appropriate. Back home, prior to going to London, we were enjoying the beach. And this is included because this is one of my favorite pictures of Mickey that I've really enjoyed throughout the years. And in addition, the next picture is included because this is Mickey's really favorite picture of she and Carrie, which is probably sometime during the 70s, I would suppose. And this is a great shot of Mickey and her familiar Patsy. In addition to these things, we did the normal kinds of activities. We were big on road races for a while, running 10Ks primarily. And we enjoyed camping. Look at Mickey's face and tell me how much she enjoyed it. Well, maybe not so much. And then along came the hippie family, and everybody thought of us pretty much that way, including our own kids. Here, Carrie and I, another favorite activity at the time is backpacking. And then we're introduced to Alice. Alice was a potter in the area, and Mickey was apprenticed to her. Here she is taking on the skill of centering and throwing pots. This was a very good time for her. Here you can see Patsy with Mickey in a full kill, a car kill at that. And doesn't she look good? Mickey says she feels about her most powerful during her 50s, and from this picture you can kind of see why. This is our home in London on Glendower Mansions, and we had two little patios up on top because we had the top floor. We were the penthouse. Those were sort of salad days in our life for sure. Back home again, we picked up where we left off, biking on the Creeper Trail, kayaking, and this is when we went with the kids one time in the old Nissan. Here we are with Alice and Stanley on the coast kayaking. And then, of course, one of the things that was important to me was to be a sculptor. And a couple of sort of major accomplishments is I was officially the guardian what is that dog's name? Gumby while he was on a photo shoot for a magazine. In addition, Dave and I were at that time doing whale bones for the North Carolina Museum of Natural Science, and this whale hangs on the roof to this day. Well, that's us for now, honey. My dog and me. Anyway, as you know, this is One Who Loves You right here. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Good to have you in the family, my dear. Bye.